Okay, welcome back. Sorry, my screen recorder had a weird freak out moment, so this is part 2 here. I'm showing you all of my code and everything that went into this project. So we've got, right now I'm looking at this, the business, find all. We'll go into product business here, which the business is just a wrapper for the data. So we'll go actually down into product data, and that is right here. And you can see that for find all, really simple, gets a connection, selects everything from the product. I'm probably not going to show you much more of the data for anything, just because it's pretty self-explanatory. If there's something I might dive into that, if there's something that I feel like needs to be explored a little bit more. But we'll go back over here, we can add it to the cart. You can see that that was added successfully. We've got this nice lovely cart image right there. We can click on that and it's in our cart. So we'll go into here and you can see the add to cart handler down here is right there. It gets called right there. You've got a hidden ID input, price input, quantity input, and its value is set down here in the JavaScript. And then this button just submits it. So we'll go into the business and go into add to cart handler. That's right here. Pretty simple. Get everything, all the user input, create a new cart item, which is actually a model. This is the first time we've seen one of those. Used it more like a data transfer object, just to transfer the object instead of transferring the actual information itself. But in the model, we've got cart item here. This is really simple. You have 4 things: product, product quantity, product ID, product quantity, date added, and user ID. And then there's getters and setters, and a constructor. So in the handler, we're just using that constructor. We're calling it, creating a new business, and we're adding it to the cart. Add to cart is just a simple insert function, and then if it's inserted successfully, it sets this, otherwise sets that, and then just goes back to the index page. We're on to the cart displaying, so we've got here the cart right here, which is basically just a wrapper for this show cart item here, but we're getting everything in the cart. Simple SQL call there is select star from select everything from fruitstore.cart where user ID is equal to user ID. Really simple. And then we're doing show cart. I'm trying to move a little quicker so that you don't have to look through 4 different videos to get my whole presentation. Show cart here. Some more custom JavaScript just to set, CSS rather, not JavaScript, but to set these 2 buttons to be bigger. I wanted them to look a little bit different, and it was fun to kind of challenge myself. And you can see we've got down here just a simple, it's a sideways card this time instead of a vertical card like you saw on the index page. So you've got the sideways card displaying the image, the product name, description, and then the date. And you've got this form here that's an update form. So that's this right here. We can increase the quantity. I would have liked to do that with Ajax. I don't know Ajax super well, so I ended up not doing it. I just did a button here, which we can go. Right now, it displays as 1. If we go up to, I don't know, let's see how many we can go up to. 40, okay. And we hit update. Now the quantity says 40, the total is 160, and the total for the order is 160. That's another thing that I didn't show you. If we go home, and we'll just for fun add an apple to the cart. You can see product number 12 was added successfully. We go over here to the cart, and you've got 2 things in there for a total of $163.99. We update that quantity to 14. There's $55.86. So total down here displays, because we are adding it every time. Total plus equals product, the price of the product, and the product quantity. Excuse me. I'm going to make a couple different. Oh, we didn't have to loop through that one. I found the product by ID, and I knew that would only return 1 product, so I didn't worry about looping through it. And then we're creating a new date time, all that kind of good stuff. And this is so that we can echo that data. So we can echo the total right there as printf. If we click on order here, we've got an order page. You've got the primary card, the secondary card, so I'll show you that here. This is, I'll go back really quick and show you so update, really quick, update quantity handler, got all the way up here. Update quantity, really simple. Update quantity takes in the product ID and the new quantity, and then just returns you back to the card. I didn't have it set any success or fail messages because those were more for me and because I could see it right here whether or not it worked. The delete is really similar. The delete product handler or delete cart item handler is delete from cart, user ID, product ID. Really, really simple. Click on order. That one is just actually an href, or an anchor tag. So if we're looking at show cart here, you have finalize order right there. It's just an anchor tag that goes to finalize order. So we'll take a look at that page. Not there yet. There it is. Finalize order. You've got two sides to this, similar to the login register page. You've got the credit card side and the address side, and you have all the information being displayed. This one was kind of a coalescing of two different things, the credit cards and the addresses, so we had to have a couple different loops, a couple different things where we found the credit cards. Interesting to note here, credit card number, we exploded it based on that delimiter there, the slash character, which makes it so that we can just see the last four. The first four get set to X. Oh wait, maybe not on this one. Oh no, on this one I did display it all. There's other ones where it does that. But we exploded it by that and then used the first four. It exploded it into an array. That way we could display four different things. When it's actually saved in the database, it's just saved as a string with these slashes in the middle. Or dashes if you want. But yeah, we're getting the primary. Interesting note on those, I have it set so in my database, credit card will be a good example, but address has the same column name, all that kind of stuff. It'll load for me. Is primary card. For each user, there's only going to be one primary card, so every card will be just saved as a 0 if it's not primary, 1 if it's primary. I think you can save booleans in databases, but I decided to go with an integer just because that's the backside of boolean. Boolean is actually an integer. So just excuse me, we're just get primary is just selecting. I believe the SQL is something like select star from fruit store dot credit card where user ID is equal to user ID and is primary card is equal to 1. So that will just get the primary card out of there. And then we're displaying all that information, and down here you have this form that sends excuse me, sends the order through to the order handler. Order handler up here is right here. Got an order handler. This one is much more complicated, as you can see, because we're grabbing the credit card, grabbing the address, and we're having to create a new order item, create a new order history item, insert it into both of those tables, and then if all of those are successful, we delete each thing from the cart. So a little bit more complicated. Again, a coalescing of kind of all of the things that I had written. We'll kind of take you through that now. If I were to click order, for the user it's really seamless, but on the back side it's actually doing a lot of stuff where it just took that order that was in the cart. You can see that there's nothing in the cart right now, but it just took those two and the credit card and the address and added them to orders. So now we have a new one made today on the 7th of June, and it's not been delivered. It's all this information is saved in here. It's saved under this user ID, that address, that credit card, that kind of thing. So then we'll look at, if we go in here and we go my account, this is another page that I have. I can show you right here. This has 4 different sections: credit cards, addresses. You can update the credit address, update the primary credit card, and that will save a different information into the database when you order something. If we go into current orders right now, we should have an order ID of number 42, 40 bananas, 14 apples, under that credit card, under that name. And then there's all that. If we go into, and I'd like to note that you can only do all of this. Current orders you can do, and request you can return you can do, but some of this stuff like get sales report and a couple other things you can only do because we're logged in as an admin. So we'll just limit it to stuff that's been ordered today, which I know will be that order. And you can see we can update the delivery status, which doesn't move this along that much, but in here, if we're to reload orders, we've got now this is a 1. And I'm not showing you much of the back end on this. It's really, really simple stuff. It's just calls to the database over and over and over again. So there's not a lot changing. So I'm just kind of trying to walk you through what's going on the front end and show you that in the back end you can explore yourself. So if we do it again, we increase it, and now it moved on to packing. If I wanted to go, we'll just increase it 1 or 2 more times. Now it's up for delivery, now it's delivered. And you see we can't see that anymore. If we go here and we go to request return, we have that one that just got delivered. We can request a return on this. That go, return requested successfully. And then if we go in here to stuff we just ordered today, we have this here that is now requested, received, and refunded. You can go into here and we can reload this, and you can see that this data has been increased now to 5, which means that there is a return requested. Again, I'm not going to show you too much of the back end on that just to save time. There's a lot of pretty standard stuff. For all of those, I'm using this show sales report. You just use the 1 page, and that actually does everything for all of, if I go back to my account page, get sales report, current orders, and request return all include this underscore show sales report right here. That allowed me just to keep it simple and not have to rewrite code. And it does a lot with hidden inputs, as I showed you in the milestone 7 update. Hidden inputs right here, where you're talking about if it's from, like here, where are we at? Oh yeah, checking the post from current orders or checking the post from request return. That is conditions for displaying these 2 things. That was in my last video that you can check out. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the stuff in my code here. If we look back at my paper, addresses, past orders, current orders, request a return, all users and all products. You can see a table of every user and whether or not they're an admin. We can edit that user, does all that, submit the changes. So if I wanted to make, let's do the bottom guy. If I wanted to say Felicity Lilligard, you have lost your admin privileges. We take that away, submit changes. She's not on there. She's somewhere in here that doesn't, they're no longer an admin. So that's all that is. And the search products here, it only lets you search for products, but, oops, not oranges, it's saved as orange. Oops. There we go. And it brings this up, and you can also hit details and add it to your cart. Ooh. Interesting. I don't know what that error is, but back in my account, we know that works from the index page, so I'm not too worried about it right now. These are just placeholders. If I clicked that, it would just send me to Facebook and Instagram, the home pages for those 2. Yeah, that's pretty much my project. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for a great class, and I will see you later. Thank you.